Have you ever noticed that you can read and listen to English just fine, but then, like, when you actually have to talk, your brain just kind of goes blank
Yeah.
and you just freeze up?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's not totally blank, but, like, you're thinking in some other language and, like, having to translate it in your head before you speak.
Yeah, that's super common.
It's
And
just so frustrating.
that's exactly what we're going to be like diving into today.
Yeah.
How to actually train your brain to think in English.
So we can just speak it naturally.
Yeah, so we're not relying on translation and we can be more fluent.
And this isn't going to be, like, about grammar rules or, like, doing translation exercises.
Right.
This is all about practical stuff that you can do to train your brain.
Exactly. Practical methods that help you achieve real fluency in your conversations.
So to get started, let's think about this for a second. Imagine you're just, like, going about your day. You see a dog.
Okay.
And the thought that pops into your head is like, ye kutahai,
Right.
if you know Hindi or Urdu.
Yeah.
And that's totally natural if you're comfortable in that language, but then you
Yeah.
have to translate that in your head
Yes.
into English.
It's like, okay, how do I say this in English?
Right.
That is a dog.
Exactly. And even in that split second that you take to translate,
Yeah.
you've already lost the flow of the conversation.
Yeah. You know,
That's
you've paused.
Yeah, there's hesitation.
You've lost a bit of confidence.
And your confidence takes a hit.
And, you know, if this is happening with every sentence in a conversation, it just gets so tiring.
It's exhausting.
Yeah. And I can see why people feel like they can't get fluent because they're constantly translating, and that just stops you from speaking naturally and fluently.
Yeah. It makes you wonder how English is taught sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
we spend years and years learning English. But
I think the thing is we learn it so much from like the rules and the grammar, and we write essays, we do these multiple choice questions, and it's more like we're treating English like it's a subject in school
right.
to be analyzed or to be tested on rather than a language to be lived in and to think in.
Like, we're not really experiencing it directly in our minds.
Yeah.
It's almost like reading a recipe book to learn how to bake a cake, but then never actually going into the kitchen to, like, mix the ingredients or try to bake it.
Exactly.
You might know all the theory, but it's different when you actually do it.
Yeah.
So to really illustrate this, we were talking about this guy, Ahmed,
Yes.
who was a great student, like on paper.
Yes. Amazing student.
Perfect grammar.
Top marks in all the written exams.
But then when it came to actually having a conversation,
Yeah. That's when the problem started.
a simple question like, what did you eat today?
Yeah.
He would just be stumped.
And you could see that he was translating in his mind. And then he'd be like, I am eating morning food.
I'm like,
And, you know, all the words were right. But it just didn't sound natural.
it was so hesitant.
There's no rhythm to it.
You could practically see the gears turning in his head as he was trying to figure it out.
It was like there was no direct connection between the thought and the words.
Yeah.
But here's the interesting part. As soon as he started to think in English and respond in English every single day,
Like, how long did that take?
it only took about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's amazing.
And it was a huge transformation.
That's so cool.
He was answering all those everyday questions with like no hesitation and so easily.
So what did he do?
So there are a few really practical things.
Okay.
The first one is something called micro-shadowing. It's a super quick 2-minute technique.
Micro-shadowing. I like that.
Yeah. So when you're watching a video or listening to a podcast,
Or this deep dive.
even this one, yeah.
Okay.
You just pause it every 10 seconds or so.
Okay.
And you repeat the sentence out loud.
So you're not trying to, like, perfectly copy the accent.
Yeah, exactly. The goal isn't to get a perfect accent.
Okay.
It's to get comfortable with the rhythm and speed of how we speak.
Okay.
So your brain and your mouth get used to producing English sounds and phrases.
Okay, so it's like you're training your mouth to move in the right way.
Exactly. And then it's less of a conscious effort to speak.
So what's the second technique?
It's keeping an English thinking journal.
Okay.
But this isn't like some big complicated diary or anything.
All right.
It's just every night, maybe before you go to sleep, you write 5 simple sentences in English
Okay.
about your day.
Okay.
And here's the key. You have to think in English.
Right.
Don't translate from another language.
All right.
Just form the thought in English and write it down.
So, for example, what kind of things could you write?
Sure. So you could write something like, I woke up late this morning. I felt a bit tired. I had toast for breakfast. I didn't have much time to relax. I spoke to my sister on the phone.
Yeah, that's easy.
Easy peasy.
It's like working out your brain.
Yeah, you're exercising those mental muscles, but specifically for English.
What about the third tip?
This one's about changing your environment.
Okay.
So change the language on your phone to English,
Okay.
and then start using your voice assistant.
So like Google or Siri or Alexa.
Yep. Instead of asking it questions in your native language, try asking in English. Like simple things like, what's the weather today?
Exactly.
Or play some relaxing music.
That's a great one.
That's a really smart way to just like make English a normal part of your day
Totally.
without having to put in a ton of effort.
You're hearing it, you're speaking it, you're using it for everyday things.
Yeah, so we have microshadowing the English thinking journal and then switching your phone and voice assistant to English.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 3 actionable things that we can actually start doing.
Right now.
But are there also like mistakes that people make that we should try to avoid?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the biggest one is focusing too much on perfect grammar right away.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, grammar is important,
Right.
but when you're just starting out,
Yeah.
don't get bogged down in the rules.
Okay.
Just focus on being able to express your thoughts.
So it's better to just say it, even if it's not perfect.
Yeah, 100%. Rather than just staying silent because you're scared of making a mistake.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Even native English speakers?
Especially native English speakers.
Right.
We mess up all the time.
So it's not about being perfect.
No.
English is for communication.
It's a tool.
Yeah, like it's not a test that you're trying to pass.
Exactly.
It's how you express yourself.
And sometimes when we try to be perfect,
Yeah.
it just makes us more nervous to speak.
And then we don't speak at all.
You got it.
So to recap the things to avoid,
Okay.
don't get stuck on the grammar rules in the beginning. Embrace your mistakes as part of the learning process. And don't try to be perfect. Just get your thoughts out there in English.
That's a great summary.
Okay, great. So we've talked about the challenges of thinking in English.
Yeah.
We've seen how Ahmed was able to change and improve.
Hmm.
And we've got some practical tips.
Yeah.
Now we want to give you, our listener, a little challenge.
Yes. So today's challenge is really simple. In the comments section,
Yeah.
write down 3 things that you did today in English.
Simple.
Super simple.
Like, just think directly in English and write it down.
Yep.
Don't worry about translating or making it sound fancy.
Like you could say, I went for a walk.
Yeah.
I drank some coffee.
I listened to this deep dive.
Exactly.
It's easy.
It's a tiny step.
But it's a step in the right direction.
Definitely.
We also want to know what you'd like us to talk about in future episodes.
Yeah, like what kind of English learning series would help you?
Would you be interested in travel English?
Or how to like nail a job interview in English?
Or maybe English from your favorite TV shows and movies?
Oh, that's a fun one.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
We're excited to keep learning and thinking in English together.
One sentence at a time.
One thought at a time.
That's it.
Until next time.
See ya.
Bye.